Well, so we're here to continue our discussions, and this time on AM Talk, and we have in the studio Sampine. And Sampine is a regional secretary for the MPP Ashanti region, and many of you will be hearing of him, especially on the net airways or the networks in the Ashanti region. Once in a while comes to Accra, but also sends a lot of messages on many of the political platforms that do a lot of the discussions. I know he has all the numbers of the I know you have a number of Kwame Sefuakan, right?
Yeah. Yes,
and then Kaba.
Yeah.
You should have my number to send me personal message. Let me read from Sampine. All right. Well, we have some messages here. We know that we're doing discussions on the subject of alleged bribery and corruption allegation in that very investigative piece by Manasseh Azuri, award-winning journalist. We have this one. It says the most disturbing aspect of MPP and their supporters in Ghana is when sacks of CDs are everywhere in the castle, or were everywhere in the castle from 2000 to 2008. Was it a gift to His Excellency Kufuor? A card gift to one president is a bribe, but to the self-righteous ones, Mahama is an unforgivable bribe. This is hypocrisy, you say. I thought you add your name. You didn't add your name. Please, next time, add your name. Okay, this one also is from Elvis Crystal from Pando. He says, what is said to be a gift after or before the contract? You see the mentality of the black man. They are saying this is a gift. We are going to remain like this till their kingdom comes, since we decided not to tell the truth. We think we are smart. We will meet God one day somewhere. God forgive us for all. And that's from Simon from Sefiri also. Sampine, welcome to our program.
Thank you.
Okay. Now, we'll start with this very trending issue. Manasseh Azuri Awone's report, which seemed to have suggested that the president collected a bribe. This subsequently was confirmed in a statement by the communications minister. What do you make of all this starting the last 24 hours?
Well, thank you very much. It looks so ridiculous, and when I cast my mind back and I just watched a clip of the interview of the president with the BBC reporter, it tells me when he asks as a president or as a person, he was maybe thinking about being the vice president, because that gift or the bribe, as suggested now, was when he was the vice president. So he maybe wanted the man there to ask him, did you receive
okay,
when
because he said
vice,
as a human being or as a president?
As a president, and left out the vice president. And this is a
because
matter...
he knew that, you are saying that because he knew that he collected many gifts or bribes
possibly,
when he was vice,
possibly, but this particular vehicle that we're talking about happened when he was the vice president, prior to him becoming the president when the prof died. So that's the matter with the Ghanaians. But let's look at the substance of the law. What is important now is that there's been confirmation by government officials about a bribe being offered. You see, the difference...
It's a gift.
They are saying it's a gift, but I see it as a bribe. One, let's look at it from the genesis. When did this matter happen? The president met this guy somewhere in 2010. He had tried getting contracts in Ghana. He wasn't successful. 2012, he wins a contract so outrageous, a cost of $650,000 to finance the embassy in Burkina Faso. This matter came to the Public Accounts Committee, and it's public knowledge. Ghanaians were angry. The PAC, the Public Accounts Committee, referred the matter, and that they said there should be investigation. I don't know where the investigation had gotten to do, but there was outrage because how could you be fencing? And they kept giving us a lot of explanations about excavation works, reinforcing the fencing, and I mean, personally, I felt it to be some childish prank by explaining to how they ballooned that amount to $650,000.
You don't think the work would have cost $650,000?
At all. No imaginable architect or artisan or technical man will give you such quotations. Now, the statement by the minister, Dr. Mahama, suggested that 3 people put in a bid, and the lowest was by this guy, and therefore he was given that contract. That is also not what happens. It's not about the one who puts in the lowest bid. It's about the one who gives quotations and specifications that will be suitable for the work. We are not talking about it being at a lower cost. I can give it to you at the 100 cedis and do some shoddy work, and somebody will give you at 200 cedis and do very quality work. So it's the work that we're looking at, not the amount quoted. But there was this outrage. After winning that contract, a car is brought in. Now for 4 years, if Manasseh hadn't gone so investigative, and I like him, especially when it gets to the Jida matter and all that, would we, as a people, have learned about the president receiving the bribe from the Burkina Faso contractor? Roland, let's be very honest with ourselves. 4 clear years after receiving that bribe, and we just hear about it, and people are trying to make a hue out of it and giving sophisticated explanations to what? By equating it to something, a gift from the Libyan government to the government of Ghana.
The former president, John Kufuor.
But this is a gift that came from the ambassador to Ghana, handed over to him at the castle, the keys given to the president, who handed it over to...
It was supposed to be a personal gift.
No, it wasn't a personal gift. It was a state gift. Handed over the keys to the chief of staff. It was a personal gift
to the president. The president
Are you talking about the Burkina one, or are you talking about the Libyan gift?
The Libyan gift.
It was to the government, the state of Ghana. And it happened publicly with cameras all around. And that was given to the state. And that's what got involved in the accident around Zikakudi Junction, or when president for that Benz vehicle. But you have somebody.
The accident was at Opebia Junction.
Okay.
Silverstar,
yes. Yeah. You see, as a nation, we've given the president all the privileges. Fleet of armored plated cars, helicopters to fly around to the funerals and all that, even with the wife enjoying that privilege. Yeah, I was in Teshiman for a program when she came for a funeral in Kransa and came with that helicopter.
With a helicopter?
Yeah.
But she's the first lady.
Of course, I'm not begrudging that, but I want to tell her how the state had invested.
So you're saying that all these privileges are at the behest of the
behest of the president. Fleet of vehicles, quality vehicles. I don't know how protected this particular vehicle is. It's even accepting that and using it privately. You were even opening himself out to harm. I don't know whether that vehicle is
we're told that the vehicle, according to what the statement from the communications minister is, has been put in the pool of vehicles at the presidency.
And they want us to believe that. You see, when Vincent Kwabonu was appointed the protocol officer in charge of state vehicles, they took inventory of that. Let them bring the documentation showing that when he took inventory those times, this vehicle was part of it. I mean, they shouldn't be hiding. When the matter is wrong, let's put it that it's wrong. When an individual said that President Kufuor was not fit to stay in his own private apartment, and that he publicly wanted to donate some cash for him to do security fencing for the place, look at the outrage. It even went to SRAG for investigation. Honorable Babin and the rest were so vociferous in making sure that these matters were brought out. And it came finally that there was no wrongdoing in that, all right? Through the processes of the law, if you receive a bribe, let's even assume it's a gift. Did he pay tax on that? Yeah, I know the president doesn't pay tax, but per the laws of this land, bribes, gifts are taxable. And it's not clear in the constitution that gift to the president should not be taxable. So if even it's a gift, did we pay tax on that? And people are also equating that the matter was from the Burkina Faso, the ambassador of Ghana, he brought it over to the Upper East region to be given to Mr. Makoyongo, then violence begets violence, then to send it over to Accra. I mean, look at it, trying to hide the trail of wrongdoing. When you ask psychologists, when you ask criminal psychologists, they will tell you, it's especially with money laundering. It doesn't go a straight route. It goes from one point and somewhere, somebody picks it up. So by the time it gets to the final destination, you cannot trace it. And this is something similar to it. When you look at the regulations and acts that they use in registering the vehicle, if it's government, it should be that of the regulation 42. When it's non-governmental, it is 43. And that to every documentation, according to Manasseh's report, it's 43. So why would then they tell us that it was given to the government?
That is in the pool.
It's in the pool.
Because it's in the private hands.
You see, that's they always, the NDC and their communicators and their they always think the Ghanaian is maybe not intelligent enough by telling us some of these stories. You see, I keep on talking about a story about this guy who went to the university and was, when he came out of school, you know, the whites, they had the party for the boy, and the father asked him to demonstrate what he had gone to learn in university. And the guy went to do sophistry. And no sophistry, the act of using intelligence to justify unjustifiable things. So they had 2 chicken roasted, the mom, the pop, the guy, 3 people. So the guy said you could make the 2 chicken 3. So each of them will have a piece of it. Now he put one in front of the father and asked the quantity, and the father said 1. He gave 1 to the mom, and the mom said 1. He took the one on the pop's plate, put it on the mom's plate, and asked how many the mom had, and the mom said 2. So he said, okay, how many did father have then? And he said 1. So when you add that 1 to these 2, how many are you going to get? They said 3. So the father is brilliant. My chap is brilliant. But meanwhile, I'm taking 1, your mom is taking 1. Take the 3rd one. You see, the same mentality of trying to trick Ghanaians into believing what is not believable is what the NDC is doing.
Now you're veering into the realm of politics. So I was reading a literature yesterday evening and said the NPP was going to take advantage of this, and you, as the secretary of the party for the Assembly, you're making political capital out of this, aren't you?
This is no political capital. We are talking about the presidency, the highest position in the country. That goes with the highest level of integrity. I am a regional secretary. If I misbehave, they wouldn't talk about Sampai. They're going to talk about an MPP regional secretary. It tells you my position is important to my conduct. So if I'm the president, the first gentleman of the land, the one who is to espouse the highest level of integrity, is involved in bribery, it becomes something ridiculous for us to understand.
We're told that it's a gift. You keep saying bribery.
How could the guy have gotten those contracts after putting in that gift?
That's an assumption.
Could that be an assumption?
Yeah, you are assuming.
The person have tried several times to get a contract. He didn't.
You're still assuming.
He met the vice president, then now the president, and just after meeting him, he awarded a contract to fence our embassy in Burkina Faso. A car, supposedly a gift, gets to the president, $100,000 worth of that vehicle. Then just after that, he's awarded a jersey contract, and sponsored contract. When Omanibwana brought the statement, he quoted and mentioned the companies that put in bids for the fencing of the embassy. But when it got to the Pepesu Road, that EU project, that $25 million project, no other contractors were mentioned. Okay.
Was it sole sourcing?
Definitely, if you're able to tell me that, if you tell me that the first contract had 3 people bidding, and therefore it wasn't sole sourcing, if you give me another contract that was won by this guy, would I give you the other contractors who put in their bids? You're telling me sole sourcing.
So you're saying
just
that
after that.
So you're saying that following the gift of the car, that may have paved way for him to
definitely softening. You know, the accounts have another adage that when there's a boil, you use the shea nuts, shea butter in softening it so that it will burst quickly. So greasing that. When we all talk about people on the roads where they take something to facilitate people to move around, and it's been so. If the president, who should be the epitome of integrity, is also involved with that, this is not a matter that should be swept just off the. It's an important thing. If they've been in the Western world, I mean, matters of resignation and the rest will have been that. But I've urged the
well, in the Western world, those would have been a big deal.
Very big, very big. You remember the...
But so too would have been a number of things that happened in the NPP administration.
Of course. I don't begrudge that. You see, we're taking things for granted for far too long. Now, you know, presidents have received gifts all along. Even Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, I remember from a literature I read, he received some stallions from Mali and the rest that was put in the state stable. Okay? President Rawlings received, President Kufuor had gift from Libya, Professor Mills.
So yes, everybody is guilty.
No, not that everybody is guilty, but all these gifts were put to the state use.
But this one too is in the state use.
Hope. But the presentation, the acceptance and the presentation, all done publicly.
Right. But you are saying this one, it defies logic because you see that the chronology is, you're having difficulty with it.
Of course, because
so it's not
4 years ago, and nobody is in the known until this matter breaks out. That just issuing statement here and there, telling us, wanting to justify, like the boy wanted to make 2 chickens 3, and that Ghanaians should believe that. So it goes back to the interview the president had with the BBC guy. That have you received a bribe before? He said, me as a person or a president. He was maybe making reference to himself being the vice president, because this happened when he was vice president prior to him becoming the president. So Roland, we need not joke with some of these matters. If we want the country to work as we all feel, when matters come up, we should act. We should not be, because we are NDC, we need to defend it to the hilt, and because I'm MPP, I need to ascribe all the wrongs to it. But if it is wrong, let all of us all cut across the political divide. Let every Ghanaian understand that this is wrong. And I see that as bribery.
Okay.
Because that influence them to give the contract.
In the investigation also,
and look at the platitude that the president heaped on the contractor when he went to commission that road. That this one of the best roads across the country. The contractor has done well, and now that was, I think, a 46.3 kilometers or straight at 25 million. They are giving some 29 kilometers, and that's costing us about $82 million. Have you read the statement of Omani Boama well? That he's been awarded another contract. This time round, I don't know where, I don't know the terrain. The technical minds could come and tell us maybe it's some waterlogged or some rocky area that's going to involve lots of excavation and fillings and the rest. So let's give the benefit of the doubt. But if we build 46.5 kilometers at $25 million, then 29 point something kilometers at $82 million, that's another matter that we need to look at. And the Public Accounts Committee have a duty. Now people should be brought back to explain the $650,000 war and the subsequent bribe/gift to the president.
Some pine being very difficult this morning. Not taking chances at all and not leaving stone unturned in this very subject. But Manasseh Azuri-Awune, in that very investigation, this is what he did. He went to speak to the president's advisor on corruption, Daniel Batidam. He didn't know that he was investigating a story, but he asked him a scenario that if the president ever, or would he have been in a position to receive a car or to receive an item that was worth $100,000? And he said, looking at the man he is and thinking, no, he won't.
So now, what should we tell Batida when it's come out that he actually received that gift/bribe, $100,000? You see, when I remember Mr. Batidam leading the crusade against corruption. Now he's been a little silent, especially when he got appointed to be
he's an advisor. He's not a trumpeter. He's not a communicator on corruption.
No, but he has some
advisors don't speak.
Is he not part of this administration, this current government?
Yeah, sure.
Of course. So
but the government has a communication minister.
No, I'm not talking about I'm not talking about him communicating to the world. I'm talking about the stance he took on corruption when NDC wasn't in power. And now that he's been an advisor, I think and I thought that by this time he would have been now to tell us that this is wrong. You see? And you see, what my beef with the Ghanaian intellectuals, especially those of us who have been given opportunity to serve the state, chief executives and the rest. When matters come, because they want to protect their office, they are unable to speak on matters as they should. All right? So I believe by this time, Mr. Batidam would have been there out telling us everything, confessing, and I'll tell you, if this $100,000 issue is there, definitely there are going to be a lot, especially from the electoral psychology I did in school and from the answer the president gave and the laughter that accompanied that answer when he spoke to the BBC reporter or a guy, press guy. I believe a lot of things have gone on within the country. So we have to, or as a nation, condemn this act. We don't need to sit down there and look at it. Those anti-corruption crusaders, those who were so vociferous some years back and now have become so dumb now, should all come up. They shouldn't be dumb, they shouldn't be deaf. They should be hearing, they should be speaking about it, as they did. Because we have, as students, those who are writing a BC, we've been condemning the actions of some who go in for, let me put it, the leakages. And that we are molding children who are going to grow up to be responsible persons, and therefore such actions shouldn't come from them. So if they are writing their exams now and they have information that this is what transpired, what's going to be their reaction? So we all of us have a duty, and that this bribery, that I wish Parliament would take it up. Because in the Western world, some impeachment have started by now.
We're talking about impeachment. It would definitely have landed on the floor of Parliament. Talking about Parliament, we have a member of Parliament for Whole West who will be joining us for the discussions, Emmanuel Bejra. And well, I met him yesterday at a different event though. But we have Emmanuel Bejra, member of Parliament for Whole West, joining us as well. And thanks for joining me.
Thank
and yesterday I saw you within the corridors. I asked some couple of friends I also have among you, I asked them about the ongoing issue, and it was just breaking at the time.
Wow.
They said the president took a gift. He shouldn't have taken a gift.
Well, Roland, good morning to our cherished viewers, and also let me use this opportunity to say my big condolence to the President, His Excellency, who has lost a mom. I believe the burial is tomorrow. My condolence to him and the entire family, and also entire Ghanaian, because our president has lost a mother. And to answer your question, yes, it came out that the president has taken a gift, not a bribe. I had a couple of people distinguishing between a gift and a bribe, and I kept telling people that there's a thin line between a gift and a bribe. Now that thin line was clarified by our constitution as well as our code of conduct. Now, how do we clarify what is a gift and what is a conduct? I always look at gift from our historical antecedent. The history of Africa tells us that every when you're going to
you're talking about tradition.
Our tradition.
The way we behave. Our customs.
Our customs.
But that's not governance, is it? Before you even cite that.
Let me
want to cite it still?
I'm citing it. You go to any person, a chief or anybody, you give the person a gift, a schnapp or whatever it is, before you even, say something or greet the chief or the big man that you've gone to. It is part of our tradition. We've grown with it. That is why the code of conduct as well as the constitution says that whatever thing that you've taken, either gift or a present given to you, should not, if you are a public office holder, you should distinguish between it for your personal use and that of the state. So here lies a gift coming to the president, and he's not the first person who has received a gift. Many people have received a gift, but the question is that, was it used for his personal, or was it registered in his name, or is given to the state?
Well, the critics say it doesn't matter whether it was in a pool or not, or it is in a pool.
Or not. Then we should refer to the Constitution. We should refer to the Code of Conduct. When you go to America, for instance, any gift that is given to the president, must register in the National Museum or must be registered. If it's beyond certain limit, must be given to other charity or given to the federal state. Now, coming back to Ghana, if it is for me and I use it for my personal use, then becomes a gift which can be used to influence me. But the gift that was given to him, was he used to influence him? I'll be one of the people who champion the cause of either his impeachment or anything. But if it is to the contrary, then all of us must come to a point, stakeholders, all of our parliamentarians, civil society, we must come to a point where we say that the president should not take anything from anybody.
Well, he should not. He's the president. Because it may influence him.
So you mean that when it comes to my constituency, for instance, last 2 months, and he was decorated with a cloth, that cloth, as per our code of conduct, that says you shouldn't take anything more than $50. That's 200 Ghana cedis. Does it mean that a cloth that do, I don't know, cost more than 200, 300 Ghana cedis? It's a bribe.
Expensive. We all know those kente cloths.
So are you telling me it's a bribe? Are you telling me my people are bribing him?
It's a gift.
It's not a gift. Did he use it for himself, or he's using it as a state regalia? That is where we should draw the line.
No, but
so I am saying, yes, I'm saying that
this is a car, 100,000 worth of a car.
Roland, if it's a gift to him and he's using it registered in the name of John Dramani Mahama, then becomes a bribe. But this is a gift given to him, and the man has given it to the state pool, state protocol. It's being used by the pool. Is it used by him? Is it registered in his name? The same thing happened before when President Kufuor was given. The only different people, somebody will say, is that he has declared to the state. Then it means that everything that we receive, we should be declared to the state, including me as a member of parliament. When I go to my,
you receive things.
I receive gifts when I go to my constituency,
and then they're above 200.
I don't know. I can't quantify. I just give it to my people. You receive food stuff. You receive things. I say we should go around.
And you are saying that because it's within our traditions and customs, but we have regulations.
That is what I'm saying. Let's use the regulation. Let's use the code of conduct. Let's use the national, what do you call it, NACAP, the National Action, for Corruption, Against Corruption plan to judge some of these things. And if we realize that in this country, nobody should take a gift. Every gift that is given to the president,
we should ban it.
Then we should ban it. He should not take it at all. That is my point now.
But that's not a good position that you've taken now. I believe you've gone through the whole scenario, and now this is the defense that the people are saying you are putting up.
Well,
I mean, I'm not talking about you.
That is me. Nobody. Have you heard anybody saying it? That is me saying it. That I am a member of Global Action of Parliamentarians Against Corruption.
You are?
Yes, I am. So I am saying
would you have received a $100,000 gift?
If I receive it and I give it to the pool. In 2007, we went around looking for vehicle to convey people.
Were you a member of parliament then?
I wasn't a member of parliament. But this country, we went around 2007, we bought vehicles. And some were sold to people, their cronies. Those vehicles that were used, today we have a lot of vehicles.
Which vehicles are you talking about?
50. Didn't you buy a vehicle? So if somebody has given you a vehicle and you realize that this will influence me as a bribe, and I'm giving it to the state, it's a bribe. That's what we should distinguish. I don't see it as a bribe.
But we have regulations that state that you shouldn't take certain things beyond certain amounts.
For your personal use. Why are we separating
it
personal use?
It doesn't state in the regulation that...
So it's a gray area, and I'm saying that yes, he has received it as a gift, and then he's giving it to the state.
So you're taking advantage of the gray area to argue this way?
No, that is the law. If it is for him, if it is registered in his name as his personal thing, then we know that it's a bribe, that the person, his friend, has given a bribe. But in this case, he has accepted it as a gift and he gave it to the state.
Now we have notable members of parliament, Honorable Bajira, who indeed want to take this seriously as far as they can, and even lead to some or start some impeachment proceedings.
That is what we are getting to. We are waiting. I am waiting for it. They should show me evidence to the contrary that this, what I'm saying, that is a gift, they are seen as a bribe. Then all of us will vote for it.
If you were the president, you were given a $100,000 gift, would you have taken it?
I'll take it and give it to the state, and that is exactly what he did.
You would have taken it.
How come President Bush, when he came to Ghana, and President Kufuor gave him a gift, he gave it to the state?
What gift did President Kufuor give?
Well, in this country, when Bush came to Ghana, he was given a gift. He gave it to the state. He gave it to the federal state.
And you
So
said,
it doesn't mean that when you are given a gift, you should not take it. You can take it. But the point is, are you using it for your personal
you're a
use?
public office holder. I'm surprised that you are justifying this. That's why. Because I'm hard on you because you're a member of parliament.
Yes, Roland, the issue, what we are discussing here has to do with law.
Yes.
It has to do with law.
Precisely.
The law says that if you are taking it for your personal use,
So he didn't take it for his personal use.
it's for the state.
Okay.